Previously on Ace Attorney.
Polo, can you hear me? Dirk? Still can't swim, huh? You came back. But why? I said I'd come for you, didn't I? Yeah, but you can't hold me and swim. We're both going to... Stop talking. You'll bite your tongue. What? Hello, YouTube. I'm Unca Crunk. Welcome back to Ace Attorney. And Apollo is going up against Phoenix Wright. May 17th, 10:08 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3. Just so you know, I'm not going to take sides. Message received, loud and clear. Good, because I don't like this one bit. You and Daddy should be on the same team. Sorry, Trucy. Wow, she's really mad. I'm sorry too, little lady. This is all my fault. I'm just worried things will never be the same between Daddy and Apollo. You know, if they go through with this. Is that all? Well, I wouldn't worry about that. That's the way it is with us men. We may fight, but we don't burn bridges. Really? Sure. One minute we're trading blows, and the next, we're having drinks together. We're simple creatures at heart. I sure hope you're right. Sorry I'm late, Apollo. Dana, there you are. What happened with you and Mr. Wright yesterday? Oh, about that. I ended up going to the wrong airport. I was waiting there thinking his flight was really late, and before I knew it, I dozed off. By the time I woke up, it was already dark. I figured something like that had happened. Being late and dozing off are the two things you do best. Guilty as charged. So then I take it you have no idea what today's case is about? Not a clue. Sorry. What is today's case about? You know, if I might ask. Another locked room mystery, a suspect with a flimsy alibi, or a dying message? Sorry, strike 3, you're out. It's a civil case. A civil case? You act like I'm speaking Swahili here. It's just the Right Anything Agency specializes in criminal law, or so I thought. In civil cases, there are no prosecutors, right? Instead, both parties retain an attorney. Right. And the other attorney is someone you know very well. Really? Who? The trial will begin shortly. Please proceed to the courtroom at once. Okay, let's do this. Apollo, wait, who's the other attorney? And where is Mr. Wright? No time to explain. Let's go. Okay, right behind you. There's always time to explain, or at least to sum up. May 17th, 10:30 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 6. Court is now in session. All rise. Court is now in session. Oh, is this some sort of practice session? Mock trial, perhaps? No. No, it's not, Your Honor. It's the real deal, Your Honor. So then you two have had a falling out? I won't have you using my courtroom for that, you know. It's nothing like that, Your Honor. Exactly. It just so happens that we have different clients in this case. I see. Well, here's hoping this has no adverse effect on your working relationship. You can say that again. No, I had no idea we'd be going up against the boss today. You sure this is a good idea, Apollo? What? Do you want to switch sides? Honestly, I'd rather be anywhere but here right now. Well, at least she is here. I'm really going to need her help. Mr. Justice? Yes? Don't expect me to pull any punches just because you're the opposing lawyer. As I said, the kid gloves are off. And come what may, they'll stay off. Same here, Mr. Wright. If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you'll get. What is he up to? Yeesh, you guys are really chomping at the bit, aren't you?
I don't mind a good fight between co-workers, just keep this civil case civil. Now then, if the plaintiff would take the stand, we may begin.
Oy. This guy. Noble Judge, members of the gallery, good day to you. I am politician. This is but the start of my epic campaign. Oh, and you all have the honor of witnessing it. I believe the youth of this country are our very future. Too long have they been looked down on and given the cold shoulder. So to them I say, ask not what you can do for your country, ask what you can do for me.
Mr. Attition, what is this crazy contraption you're riding in?
That's your problem with all this? It's my custom-made election-winning campaign mobile. Beautiful, isn't it?
You're at a witness stand, not a campaign podium. So come out of there this instant.
Huh. Really?
All right, now with the plaintiff's testimony, Mr. Wright, please explain the complaint filed against the defendant.
Mr. Attition's complaint against the defendant is simple. The defendant, one Dirk Sadmati, stole my client's family heirloom, the crystal of Amy Faye. Mr. Attition merely seeks his return. This wouldn't have happened if archaeologists hadn't kicked the bucket.
I see. Well, Mr. Justice, let's have your opening statement, if you would.
The defense asserts the item in question is the Founder's Orb, a sacred relic from Quran.
Go on.
It seems someone asked an archaeologist, Dr. Archie Buff, to study the orb. Dr. Buff determined that it was a Quranese national treasure known as the Founder's Orb. The very orb that was stolen from a treasure room in Quran several weeks ago.
Oh, yes, I saw a news report about that. The theft of a Quranese national treasure caused quite an uproar in the kingdom.
Well, we believe that it was not, in fact, a theft in the traditional sense, but rather that it was spirited out of Quran by someone for Dr. Buff to study.
You don't say. And?
Oh, around that time, an acquaintance of the defendant learned of Dr. Buff. He made contact with the doctor, who agreed to hand over the orb. Apparently, the doctor wanted nothing to do with it once he had learned it had been stolen.
It seems you even have a transfer agreement between both parties.
Mr. Sadmati also agreed to return the Founder's Orb to the Kingdom of Quran, once the doctor verified it was the real thing.
I see. So this dispute centers on whether the item in question is the Founder's Orb or the Crystal of Amy Faye. That, in turn, will determine the object's rightful owner.
Yeah, I'd better bring my A game. Going up against Mr. Wright won't be a walk in the park.
Come to think of it, the name Dirk Sodmati sounds awfully familiar. But I can't recall where I've heard it.
Oh, that's probably your imagination, Your Honor. He's just a tourist, after all.
My imagination, you see.
Are you sure about this, Apollo? He's a wanted criminal in Korean, isn't he? In Korean, yes. Here, he's just a tourist.
Very well, let's begin the proceedings. Bailiff, would you bring in the first witness?
Emma! Hi. Emma? Show some manners. We're in court. Ooh. I know, it's just... This is a civil trial, so I was surprised to see a detective take the stand.
Had her do some digging on Dr. Buff.
What for? You disappoint me, Apollo. First, you know I'm not just a detective. I'm a forensic scientist. Do try to remember that. Second, you owe Mr. Wright an apology. After all he's done for you, you have some nerve. Yeah, boy. Okay, first, I'm sorry, and second, I'm really just trying to do my job over here. You'll never get anywhere with that attitude. Take some advice from someone who's been there. Why do I feel like I'm on trial here?
Detective Scotty, your testimony, if you please.
Witness testimony. The doctor's dark secret. The police have had their eyes on Dr. Buff for some time. And just today, a number of stolen artifacts were discovered in his study. Oh, crap. Among them were a priceless urn and a statue that were stolen from the Fae clan. It seems the doctor would do anything to study artifacts, including steal them. As for the relic at the center of this dispute, he likely stole it from the Letition residence. Eesh. The doctor is a thief? Why am I just hearing about this now? Well, cat burglar isn't something he put on his resume. He was more careful than that. But the fact is, he was a classic treasure hunter. A treasure hunter, huh? Like people who have thrilling adventures in exotic places, risking life and limb for glory. I doubt Dr. Buff was the star of his own hit movie series, Athena.
Out of respect for the dead, I will say that Dr. Buff wasn't doing it to get rich. Apparently, he only wanted to borrow artifacts to study them. He would then return them as soon as his research was finished.
According to the doctor's child, he would even repair or restore some of the artifacts he stole before returning them. He believed he was honoring the dead by discovering their history through artifacts. But whatever lofty ideals he held, it makes no difference. Larceny is larceny.
Yes, he certainly sounds no different from a regular thief to me.
So, let's say for a moment that the doctor really did moonlight in stealing artifacts. Might he not have stolen the Founder's Orb in Korean and brought it here himself?
No, there's no record of him traveling overseas over the past few years.
Plus, he couldn't very well leave his reclusive child at home all alone.
And this really must be the Crystal of Amifei.
Yes, he stole it from that Titian residence, so probably so he could study it. This is the left hook I did not need. But you never saw that coming, Apollo. Yeah, when Mr. Wright said the kid's gloves were off, he wasn't kidding.
Mr. Justice, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Dibby. Cross-examination, start. police have had their eyes on Dr. Buff for some time.
Hold it!
How exactly did Dr. Buff arouse the suspicion of the police anyway? Chalk it up to good old-fashioned sleuthing. After investigating countless artifacts thefts over the past few years, the police finally zeroed in on him, and the doctor became their prime suspect. A number of those artifact thefts occurred in Koran Village too, if I might add. And they started right around the time the doctor moved there. But he was never arrested. I take it there was nothing concrete linking him to a crime? Nope. Which is why we were never able to get a search warrant in the first place. It's hard to arrest artifact thieves unless you catch them red-handed. Still, the police had him under constant surveillance. And just today, a number of stolen artifacts were discovered in his study.
Hold it!
Are you sure these allegedly stolen artifacts are the real deal? They're not fakes, that's for sure. Take the urn, for example. Apparently, it's an extremely intricate work of art. Its design, cracks, and other features would be impossible to replicate perfectly. Actually, I've had a few run-ins with that urn myself. So I was shocked to see it there in the first doctor's study. I can say without a doubt that that urn was stolen from the Fae clan. I see.
Detective Sky, please continue with your testimony if you would.
Among them were a priceless urn and a statue that were stolen from the Fae clan.
Hold it!
Were any other stolen artifacts found besides those belonging to the Faes? Yes. For instance, remember the large relief on the wall? It was chiseled out of some ancient ruins in the Kingdom of Korayan several years ago. Chiseled out? Didn't that damage it? No, he did restore the parts that were so faded you could barely see them anymore. Seems he intended to return it someday, so one could say his intentions were good. But good intentions are no get-out-of-jail-free card, that's a fact. Just ask my sister. Is she still in jail? I have no idea. Damn it. If I might add, with respect for the deceased, the quality of the restoration was apparently exceptional. Seems the doctor invested a lot of money in hiring an extremely talented specialist. Sounds like a good man who took a wrong turn somewhere. I guess Sarge takes after him in that way. Any further questions? If not, no. It seems the doctor would do anything to study artifacts, including steal them.
Hold it!
Had these alleged thefts been going on for some time? At least 5 years, as far as we can tell. All the recent thefts have been local. But before moving to Korean Village, he had been stealing from ruins around the world. Dr. Buff was an international criminal? This data lends itself to but one conclusion. Dr. Buff was a thief. Well, crap. As for the relic at the center of this dispute, he likely stole it from the Titian residence.
Hold it!
You claim he stole a family heirloom from the Titian residence. But claiming something doesn't make it true. Unfortunately, it is true. How can you be so sure? A police report was filed concerning the theft 1 year ago, in fact. Oh. A whole year ago? Damn it. August 25th of last year, to be exact, the report states, and I quote, "The crystal of Amifei was discovered to be missing from the Titian storehouse at 10 a.m. The storehouse lock had been picked." Signed, Politician Wimperson.
Well, a year-old report certainly lends the plaintiff's claim credence. The doctor really could have stolen the crystal of Amifei. Not only that, Your Honor, But the Founder's Orb was only found to be missing several weeks ago.
Yeah, but it'd been missing a lot longer than that. And you know it.
That's nearly a year after the crystal's theft was reported. Therefore, I believe we must consider the orb and the crystal to be two separate items.
Politician Wimperson? Not the most awe-inspiring tail end, is it? I see why he cut it.
Not that he inspires confidence without it. Still, I'd probably do the same in his shoes.
Okay. A police report was filed about the crystal's theft a year ago.
But the theft of the Founder's Orb was only reported a few weeks ago. So the crystal's police report was filed away before the orb was found missing. That suggests the stolen relic is the Crystal of Amy Faye, as Mr. Addison Wimperson asserts.
I doubt the police report is a fake. After all, Emma is the one who submitted it as evidence.
Still, I feel like something we learned in that police report is important somehow.
Okay,
I'm not sure. Let's look.
Well, there's the research notes.
No, not good enough, I think. Wait a minute.
Wait. PAW? Excuse me?
Dr. Buff, how is your research coming along?
Hang on.
Well, let's try it.
Objection!
Oh, music stopped. The doctor stole the relic from the plaintiff.
You sure? Because that statement doesn't agree with a certain piece of evidence.
What do you mean?
Take a look at this.
What about it?
This contains an email from the doctor's computer. Email? In that little piece of plastic? I'm afraid I don't understand. This stick here can store all sorts of computer data. I still don't get it.
Just look at this.
Apparently, the doctor was reporting his research findings to a certain individual.
Now, take a look at this.
It's the police report Detective Sky presented to this court. You can see the plaintiff's legal name on it. Politician Wimperson. I can see why he dropped the Wimperson from his name, but that's hardly breaking news.
Look closer, Your Honor.
His initials.
Right.
The plaintiff's full legal name is Politician Wimperson. Now consider this. The email's recipient address starts with 3 letters.
PAW. Oh! Don't tell me.
Oh, but I will anyway. The individual who hired the doctor to study the disputed item is none other than Politician Wimperson.
Wait, then that means...
Exactly. He wouldn't have asked the man who stole his family heirloom to study it. Therefore, how could this possibly be the Crystal of Amy Faye?
But we never checked the doctor's emails. We couldn't even figure out the password to his computer. plaintiff willingly left the orb in the doctor's care so he could study it, at the behest of his benefactor. Wait, then what about the police report? I have all the details of the theft right here. It's probably for another relic, the real crystal of Amy Faye. He's just using the report as a way to claim that our orb is actually his stolen crystal.
Objection!
And how are you so certain that PAW refers to my client's initials? Maybe the client email's recipient was a dog lover.
Perhaps. So let's get to know your client a little better, shall we? Mr. Politician Wimperson.
I suppose shutting down detractors is all a part of a politician's job.
Answer me this, Mr. Attition Wimperson. What is your birthday? What is your birthday?
My birthday is July 11th. Well, what's it to you? Oh, I see. You're going to address birthday gifts to my office. But full disclosure, I only accept gifts valued at $1,000 or more.
Yeah, he's completely clueless.
Why is everyone going silent?
How can anyone be that self-centered? Oh, right, politician.
Did everyone hear that?
He said July 11th. July 11th, or rather 7-11, matches the numbers in the email address. Both the name and the birthday are a match. I hardly think that's a coincidence.
Right. Well, you sneaky little...
Yeah, looks like someone finally decided to join the conversation. Would the plaintiff care to explain?
I would like to say that that is quite what? Quite a thing you've said.
Any other thoughts?
No further comments. I stand by my previous statement. No thoughts. Head empty. Bye.
Hold it!
Can't just walk away. Even politicians have to explain themselves in a court of law.
You know, I bet, buddy. I'm afraid I simply don't know how it happened. Can't possibly explain matters outside of my purview. Perhaps there was a mistake on the part of my secretary.
Oh, no, you don't, you slippery eel. Mr. Wright, would you care to respond?
I won't argue your assertion. My client lent the treasure in question to the doctor and asked him to study it. It seems that much is the fact.
Now we're getting somewhere.
However, it has no bearing on the issue of ownership.
How so?
Mr. Attition, I fully understand your position here. You had to hide the fact that you sent the crystal out to be studied. Your family would have been very upset if they had found out. It's a family heirloom, after all.
You've got to be kidding me. He's planning to give it away to somebody outside the family. Don't you think they'd be upset about that? Or how about, crap. I got nothing else.
Mr. Wright is, well, right, of course. Well, then he always is. That's why he's my lawyer. The crystal is a precious Attition family heirloom and has been for centuries. But Dr. Buff was so eager to study his proud heritage, I just couldn't say no. I didn't even tell my grandfather.
Objection!
But in order to win the backing of your so-called benefactor, you were going to give what you claim to be the crystal of Amy Faye to that person? You were going to give a precious family heirloom away, just like that.
I was going to explain everything to my grandfather later, honest.
My client's grandfather is very proud of his grandson for following in his footsteps. And if refusing him would have meant dashing in the dreams of his darling grandson, I doubt the kindly old man could have said no.
Well, grandchildren are meant to be spoiled. That's what grandfather's for.
Your Honor, please. I mean, it's been in the family for centuries, allegedly.
My grandfather thinks highly of my talents as a politician. That's why he entrusted me with this very important name placard today. So I'm sure he would have been okay with me using the crystal as I saw fit.
Grandpa's spoiled little brat. I think the judge is spying at Apollo. No surprise there. It's always going on about his own grandchild, after all. Excuse me, can I leave now, Mr. Wright? I believe my work here is done.
By all means, Detective Sky. Thank you for your assistance.
You're welcome. It's nice to testify at a civil trial once in a while. See you around. Bye, Emma.
It seems the facts have changed somewhat. Mr. Titian Wimperson apparently lent his family heirloom to Dr. Buff. Mr. Justice, how would the defense like to proceed?
All right, now what? Oh, let's hear what they know about this so-called Crystal Family Fae. Maybe we can find some inconsistencies in their statements. Right. Okay then, Mr. Wright, if the item in question really is an Titian family heirloom, and let's hear all your client knows about it.
Of course. Mr. Titian Wimperson, please tell the defense everything you know about the crystal's origin. All right, now then, listen and learn. This is the tale of the Crystal of Amifae and the illustrious history of the Titian clan. Are you ready? Our story begins back in the old country when the Titian family reigned supreme.
Witness testimony.
The illustrious history of the Titian clan. My ancestor was praised as a benevolent ruler. He protected the spirit mediums, a minority back then, from the rest of the locals. Some discriminated against them, you see, while others tried to abuse their power. As thanks, Amifae gave the crystal she had specially made as a gift to him. I am a descendant of that great lord. As such, my political power and influence is backed by centuries of history.
Well, that devolved into a great load of self-aggrandizing propaganda fast.
As you can see, the Crystal of Amifae is an heirloom of the esteemed House of Titian.
And you have proof that it has always been in the Titian family?
I have someone who gave a statement to that effect. My client's neighbor, one Ives Shinetto, age 85, gave the following statement. The Titian showed me the crystal back when I was but a lad.
Objection!
Can we really trust the memory of an old man?
Mr. Justice, would you care to explain that statement to the judge?
But I didn't. What I'm trying to say.
Never underestimate the memory of your elders. I may forget my verdicts the next day, but the memories of my past are as clear as day. Therefore, I find Mr. Ives Shinetto's statement to be perfectly credible.
Wow, did you see how Mr. Wright got the judge on his side? That's definitely a trick I want up my sleeve. You're not helping, Athena.
You may cross-examine the witness, Mr. Justice.
Yeah, boy. Cross-examination, start. My ancestor was praised as a benevolent ruler.
Hold it!
That object you set down there, is it something of importance to you? It's a name placard. This one here belonged to my grandfather, Abraham Titian. He had it custom made during his distinguished political career. It's special because it was crafted from the finest Italian plastic. I wasn't aware the Italians were famous for their fine plastic. You can touch it if you want. No, I'm fine, thank you. Very well, I'll just continue with my testimony. My ancestor was praised as a benevolent ruler, but he was also an eminent politician. He protected the spirit mediums, a minority back then, from the rest of the locals.
Hold it!
So I take it the relationship with the Fae clan was a close one. A smooth and open line of communication with my entire electorate. That is the politician way. Huh? Oh, sorry. I was asking about your ancestor. Heh. Whether it's about me or my ancestor, feel free to ask me anything you'd like. Transparency in government, that's the politician way. Or like dodging questions, that's the politician way. Thanks, I'll be sure to ask when I have something you'll actually answer. As I was saying, the Titian family protected the Fae spirit mediums back then. Some discriminated against them, you see, while others tried to abuse their power.
Hold it!
Like you. I mean, your grandfather. Spirit mediums were the targets of discrimination? Yes. Some people even treated them like they were monsters. The transformation the mediums underwent when channeling spirits frightened the locals. And then there were those who tried to use them. Mean they sought to control the channeling powers of the mediums? Discriminating against a minority is absolutely despicable. A vote for me is a vote to end discrimination. I vow to root it out wherever it may be. That is my promise to you. He's totally ignoring your questions. It's like you're a moderator at a political debate. Yeah, and only he cares about his talking points. As thrilling as your campaign is, could we please get back to your testimony? Heh, as you wish. Now then, as for the crystal of Amy Faye. As thanks, Amy Faye gave the crystal she had specially made as a gift to him.
Hold it!
You said she had it made, so then it was made in Japan? That's right. They say she hired a famous craftsman to make it. And they say it's quite valuable too. And you are going to take such a priceless family heirloom and just give it to your patron. Huh. That's so typical of you ignorant common types. Making difficult decisions when the chips are down is what being a politician is all about. But only when it's in service of your own political career, you mean. The crystal is a testament to my ancestors' remarkable achievements. And furthermore, I am a descendant of that great lord.
Hold it!
So tell me, Mr. Titian Wimperson, are you famous in Karain Village? You could say that, but I find my popularity to be rather bemusing. Bemusing. Yes, my campaign posters keep going missing as soon as I put them up. My avid supporters and female fans are likely taking them home to hang in their bedrooms. I guess ignorance really is bliss. All this proves my fine lineage. As such, my political power and influence is backed by centuries of history.
Hold it!
I'm sorry, but is any of that relevant to the issue of the relic's rightful owner? Have you never heard of kingcraft? Kingcraft? Is that a video game? It's the art of ruling as a king. My father drilled it into my head from a young age. And one of its precepts states, ruin awaits a ruler who responds to every single issue posed by the masses. Well, that answered my questions about what he meant by king of this nation. Progress. Apollo, who is this Amy Faye anyway? I believe she was the founder of the Korean channeling technique. The plaintiff claims she had the crystal made for his ancestor. That would mean it was made in Japan, right? Yes, I suppose it would. All right. So, let's see. Okay. Mitama motif from Korean founding period. Okay. All right, got it. Now, where do I do this? Specially made, okay. Guess it's this one. Oh.
Objection!
Yep, music stopped. You stated that Amy Faye had the crystal made for your ancestor. So, am I to assume it was made in Japan? That's right. The craftsmanship is unbeatable. Well, that's strange. I don't see how your so-called crystal could have been made there. What are you talking about? It's quite obvious if you take a closer look at this.
Take that!
Take a look at the distinctive design here. According to Dr. Buff, some Mitama motif dating back to the early days of the Kingdom of Korean. The Kingdom of Korean, huh? And you base this on... Here, this piece of evidence, Your Honor. These are the doctor's research notes on the Founder's Orb. This is the box in which the orb was originally stored. It features the same pattern as the one on the orb. They do look like the same pattern. Therefore, I assert that the disputed item must have been made in the Kingdom of Korean. Eek, my placard!
Objection!
The Korean channeling technique originated in the Kingdom of Korean. And Amy Faye is known to have traveled there to train. With that in mind, what's to say she didn't bring that pattern back with her?
Objection!
But since this is clearly a Koreanese design, not even you can deny the possibility that it was made there in the Kingdom of Korean.
Objection!
Anything's possible to some extent. That doesn't make it true. So you can't conclude that the orb is from Korean based solely on that pattern. If it were that simple, I could just as easily say it's Japanese. Yeah, that's not really enough, is it?
I have to agree with Mr. Wright. The pattern alone proves nothing. But that also means there's no basis to claim the item in dispute was made in Japan either. At this rate, we're going nowhere fast.
He's right. We're just spinning our wheels here. Wonder if we have any evidence that could break this stalemate. Evidence that could break this stalemate. I mean, it has to exist, right? The defense would like to present a piece of evidence to the court. What am I presenting? A piece that will finally break this stalemate.
Oh, you've sure piqued my interest. Let's see what you got.
All right, I will now prove that this is, in fact, the Founder's Orb. Crap. I got nothing, do I? Crap. No. Oh boy. All I got is that. Okay, I got nothing.
And just how does that piece of evidence prove that the relic is the Founder's Orb?
It doesn't, does it?
Not by any means I can fathom.
Sorry, Apollo, but I have to agree with the boss on this. Me too, actually.
Me three, defense.
Thanks.
Time to think that one over again, Mr. Justice.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay, maybe it doesn't exist?
There doesn't seem to be anything we can use.
At least not at this point. Well, unless we can find something, this trial won't be going anywhere.
That's much better.
What's this deal?
I have a suggestion. Why don't we consider this from a different angle?
I'm listening.
What if the Defiant Dragons really were authorized to take possession of the relic? I'm afraid I don't know where you're going with this, Mr. Wright. Consider the Orb Transfer Agreement, which states, I agree to hand over the Founder's Orb to the Defiant Dragons if I will come to no harm. What if, as the last part suggests, this was written under duress? That would render the argument null and void. What are you suggesting, Mr. Wright? While you were on your little cave expedition, I was investigating Dr. Buff's accident.
Why did you put salt on that last word?
About to find out, aren't you? And there was something you overlooked, Mr. Justice. Namely, that his accident might have actually been a murder.
But... murder?
Mr. Wright, you do realize such statements are not to be made lightly. Are you suggesting the Doctor was murdered by the Defiant Dragons? Yes, but follow me on this for a sec. The books that came tumbling down were from the archaeology shelf. However, among that mountain of books was a single volume on psychology. What's more, there was some blood on it.
And you feel this is important because the books that came tumbling down were from the top shelf, the archaeology books. We know this because the doctor's books were meticulously organized by subject. Archaeology took up the entire shelf, so that psychology book is completely out of place. Come to think of it, the shelves were arranged quite carefully. It's also worth noting that the psychology books only take up a tiny part of the bottom shelf. You might wonder why a book on psychology was found amid the pile of archaeology books. Trying to hide the books. The book, sort of, well. But I believe I can explain what that single out-of-place book was doing there. The doctor was struck from behind while selecting a psychology book from the shelf. And that's when the blood got on the book. Precisely. And to make it look like an accident, he was buried under a mountain of archaeology books.
Objection!
Now, wait a second. This is all just speculation, right? Or do you have proof that it was murder?
Of course I do.
Of course you do.
On a hunch, I had Detective Sky examine the doctor's head wound. She found that he'd been struck by the corner of some object or another.
Wait, what?
Wound like that couldn't have resulted from a fall to the floor, you know. Do you understand what this means, Mr. Justice? The wound makes it crystal clear that Dr. Buff was murdered.
What? Well, that was unexpected. And I actually did expect it. Who'd have thought we'd break out of the stalemate like this? He pulled the ladder right out from under us. Still, if he thinks that's enough to make me back down, he's got another thing coming. Even if the cause of death was murder, what makes you think it was the Defiant Dragons? You should know better than to hurl baseless accusations.
Objection!
Did you forget who you were up against, Mr. Justice? You didn't actually think I'd come to court without witnesses and evidence, did you?
What are you talking about?
I would like to request further testimony from the plaintiff. Specifically, I would like the court to hear how he saw one of the rebels leaving the crime scene.
He saw what? I knew Dats the rebel was going to get fingered for this. If he can prove it was murder, that's the end of our client's right to the orb. Did he have this up his sleeve the whole time? How can Mr. Wright do this to us? He was just waiting to spring this trap.
This trial has taken another unexpected turn. But I must mention, Mr. Wright, that you have yet to identify the murder weapon. The object used to commit the murder was not located at the scene of the crime. The murderer likely disposed of it elsewhere.
Okay.
Well, I never thought we'd be deliberating the issue of murder at a civil trial.
It's Phoenix Wright. He doesn't do civil trials.
All right, Mr. Attition Wimperson, your testimony, if you please.
Prepare to be dazzled. Dazzled by the charismatic oration forged in the crucible of campaign battles. Yeah. Witness testimony. The rebel's crime. That evening, I was walking alone, lost in thought. I passed by the doctor's house, and that's when I saw Mr. Rebel. He was running out the front door. It was around 10 at night. Surely that must have been him fleeing the scene of the crime. A vote for me is a vote to end such violence. That is my promise to you.
So the plaintiff saw a possible suspect fleeing from the doctor's residence, and it was within the window of the estimated time of death.
That's a rebel. What in the world were you doing there then? Okay.
Seems Mr. Rebel was loitering about the Crane village that day. There's evidence he was in the doctor's study as well. Isn't that right, Mr. Justice?
Yes. His suitcase. Hey.
Exactly. He must have been in quite the rush to leave that behind. Oh, and by the way, Your Honor, Mr. Rebel just so happens to be sitting in the gallery today. Ah! See, that's him trying to escape as we speak. Bailiff, don't let that man get away! Right, you backstabber, what are you doing this to me? All right, the counsel/defense may question the plaintiff/witness once more. Please proceed, Mr. Justice.
Cross-examination, start. The rebel's crying. That evening, I was walking alone, lost in thought.
Hold it!
Why were you taking a walk? Society is inundated with serious problems that must be solved. And as a politician, I'm always on the job, thinking hard about possible solutions, even on my walks. Thanks for the non-answer. While we live our comfy lives, there are starving children who suffer in the back alleys of our major cities. It's not in me to ignore such suffering. A vote for me is a vote to end hunger and for world peace.
Yes, Mr. Titian Wimperson, we are all well aware of your outstanding character. Now, please continue with your testimony.
I can practically hear my poll number surging. Now on with my speech. After all, the voting public must be informed of the magnificence that is me. God, I hate pressing this guy. But I gotta do it. I passed by the doctor's house, and that's when I saw Mr. Rebel.
Hold it!
Where exactly were you when you saw Mr. Rebel? Right here, under this tree. I saw him dashing out of Dr. Bob's front door. Okay. And he didn't notice you? No, I was hidden by the tree.
Is it really all that important to know from where the plaintiff saw Mr. Rebel?
Abso-fraggin-lutely. I believe it matters a lot. I ask that it please be added to the witness's testimony. I was under this tree when I saw Mr. Rebel.
Hold it!
What were you doing under that tree? A lack of lateral thinking. That is a politician's downfall. What? That is why, if I'm elected, I promise to think outside the box. The question was, what were you doing under the tree, Mr. Titian Wimperson? I suppose I can't expect a plebeian such as yourself to understand my grand design. Oh yeah, try me, oh Lord of Plebes.
Mr. Titian Wimperson, I believe the court is well aware of your grand political vision. Now, let's have the rest of your testimony, if you please.
What did he? I can hardly wait for the upcoming election. I'm not getting any answers to my freaking questions. He was running out the front door.
Hold it!
Did you notice anything unusual? Yes, his behavior was incredibly suspicious. His eyes were darting all around as he ran off in a total panic. As soon as I saw that, I knew he had done something, and it probably wasn't good. Despite that, you still didn't report it to the police? Who would have thought he had killed Dr. Buff? Not me, that's why I didn't report him.
So the witness didn't notify the police. Is that an important statement, Mr. Justice?
Actually, yes. Because he should have been able to see the body. Yes, it's important. I request the witness add it to his testimony. Sure, why not? I had no idea that Dr. Buff was dead. That's why I didn't call the police.
Hold it!
You had no idea he was dead. In other words, you knew nothing about what had happened. I am truly ashamed of myself. What? There's been a gruesome murder in my beloved village. What a fool I've been. I was thinking only of the village's future and world peace. It seems my earnest attitude and industrious nature have come back to haunt me. Only a politician would try to pass off self-aggrandizement as self-deprecation. Oh, you think this is how all politicians will be from now on? We're all doomed if they are. If you don't mind, I'd like to continue with my testimony. It was around 10 at night. Surely that must have been him fleeing the scene of his crime. That would. Oh, God. Ah.
Hold it!
But at the time, you didn't know the doctor was dead, is that correct? It's true that I've been known as a prodigy from a very young age. I graduated high school and college with exceptional grades. As class president, I reformed stale old school traditions. My exploits were even covered in local papers. But as exceptional as I am, I can't possibly be expected to know everything at all times. This isn't working. He keeps bending the questions to serve his own needs. Hang in there, Apollo. Mr. Titian Wimperson, I believe the court is well aware of your exceptional nature, blah, 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 yada, yada. Keep talking. I have the upcoming election in the bag. A vote for me is a vote to end such violence as my promise to you. Oh my God, I don't even want to press this. I just can't do it anymore. But I will.
Hold it!
So how do you actually intend to end such violence? Elite politicians such as myself never reveal their strategies. Did you really think that I would divulge such sensitive information to the likes of you? Yeah, but surely you have some sort of campaign platform you're running on. It's called a palanquin. No comment. Clearly, his is a platform told by an idiot full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. He said he saw Dash from under the tree. If that's true, then... Did you figure something out? Yes, I did. I think he's hiding something. Lots of things. Many things. Let's take another look at the evidence, Athena. All right. All right, this one. You clearly knew he was dead. Mr. Titian Wimperson, if that is your real name. rather than Mr. Rebel, wasn't there something else that should have your undivided attention? Like what? Oh, yes, of course. A politician must also keep his finger on the electorate's pulse and focus. Sorry, but you're way off.
Would you care to explain, Mr. Justice?
If the witness saw Mr. Rebel from his position here, then he should have also been able to see the doctor's body. After all, it was right next to a huge window.
I believe you have a point there.
With the body that clearly visible to the witness, it's unthinkable that he wouldn't have reported it to the police.
Would the witness care to respond?
Is he feigning sleep? Did he actually fall asleep?
Mr. Attention Wimperson?
Up late last night, were you?
Mr. Attention Wimperson!
There are many sides to any issue. What did I ever do to deserve this? In any case, I'd like the court to acknowledge the inconsistency in the witness's testimony. Mr. Attention Wimperson, did you really see Mr. Rebel?
Yes.
I'll be going now. Bye.
Hold it!
Where do you think you're going? Oh, I thought I'd return to my seat, seeing as I'd already answered the question. This isn't some small town hall debate, so you just stay right there until I say we're through. I'll have to run that by my campaign manager before I...
Objection!
Mr. Attention Wimperson, I think it's time for you to come clean.
So then, does this mean that he didn't see Mr. Rebel?
As your lawyer, Mr. Attention Wimperson,
I advise you to divulge the matter we discussed. Silence is no longer an option. Are you sure about this? I'm in the midst of running for office. I can't afford to let any strange rumors get out. Don't worry, you won't suffer any blowback for what you're about to reveal.
Blowback? Not sure I like the sound of that, Mr. Wright.
Not to worry, Your Honor. Nothing untoward will come of this, I promise. Now then, Mr. Justice. Remember how it was an anonymous caller that reported the doctor's death? Oh, yeah. Come to think of it, Emma, who was the first one to discover the body? About that, whoever it was, it seems they wanted to remain anonymous. What? It happens now and then. Some people would rather not get involved with the police. You're not saying that... Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Eesh. The anonymous source who contacted the police after discovering the body was... my client, Mr. Politician Wimperson. What? You don't say. So you see, he played his part as a concerned citizen, quite admirably, if I may say so. Isn't that right? Yes, indeed. In our society today, there are too many who choose indifference over righteous action. But I don't number among them. That's why I did my duty as a concerned citizen. One might call me the modern citizen, one worthy of standing above the rest. What a real standard bearer he is. reporting it anonymously.
Oh, and by the way, Mr. Justice,
Oh, now what?
wasn't there someone else at the scene of the crime when my client discovered the body?
Oh,
You mean Mr. Rebel?
he would have been leaving the doctor's house right about then. Which means...
Yes, it does. In short, what my client witnessed was Mr. Rebel fleeing the scene of a heinous murder. And that's not all. Based on what we've heard so far, Mr. Rebel looks exceedingly suspicious, and that's putting it mildly. We already know the Defiant Dragons threatened the Doctor with bodily harm. And now that they've killed him, the so-called orb transfer agreement is null and void.
Damn it, Dax! Apollo, if we don't come up with some sort of counter-argument...
What sort of evidence do you have? Can you actually prove that it was Mr. Rebel who killed the Doctor?
That move had desperate written all over it.
I know. It's all I've got, so I'm going with it. Evidence? I suppose it's true that I don't have any.
I knew it.
But I do have another witness.
You do?
You should know that I always come fully prepared, Mr. Justice. And my new witness will provide testimony proving Mr. Rebel's guilt.
Ah! A new witness? I wonder who it could be.
Sarge. Very well, bailiff, please summon our new witness.
In the next episode, to the outro! Well, that did not go well. Like, at all. I knew Dr. Buff had been murdered and that Dats would be blamed for it, but I at least thought we'd actually finish this civil trial before we started the murder trial. I mean, obviously, politician did it, and I think I know what the murder weapon is. At least we don't have to search for it. But I'm going to have to wade through a lot of nonsense before I can even accuse him. Well, we're starting with Sarge, so it shouldn't be all that bad. I doubt he actually saw the eel killing his father, but I'm sure he'll have some sort of hint that will let us prove that Attition was there, then blah blah blah, whip out the luminol and nail his arrogant ass to the wall. In the meantime, up here's a playlist of my Persona 5 Royal playthrough, and down here's a video that YouTube recommends. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!